All right, let's do this. Let's make this happen. A lot to talk about. It's December 8th. Thank you to anybody, everyone that came out to Punk Rock Christmas in Arizona. Christmas in the desert. Thank you. MXPX.com. We are going crazy in there, sending out orders for your Christmas holiday type stuff. We have skateboards. You've seen the 100 skateboard and the Santa Cruz skateboard. Love these things. Very cool. But have you seen the MXPX sweater? Look at that. Look at that. Woo. It's got MXPX on the sleeves. It's got MXPX. I don't know if it's got MXPX on the back. I actually never looked at the back. What does the back say? Yeah, you caught me. I'm in my sweatpants. But hey, it's a beautiful day. All right, you guys. I'm very comfy. Wearing my sweatpants. I'm wearing my MXPX Christmas sweater for 2025. This will be good to go in the next couple years. But look at how cool the Poking at Ya Punk is with his Santa hat. That's my favorite part, I think. Anyway, MXPX.com. We appreciate you. We have a bunch of shows. Seattle and BC, Canada. So Canada is January 9th. Seattle is January 10th. That's sold out. But Commodore Ballroom in BC, Canada has some tickets. So please don't wait. Go get those tickets. MXPX.com. The last show of 2025 has taken place. The last in-your-face show in person. But we are planning on doing a live stream. So it hasn't been advertised or anything. Or I don't think it's been advertised that I know of. But we are going to do it. It's the eve of Christmas. So December 23rd, mark your calendars. We are planning on doing a live stream. MXPX YouTube, MXPX Facebook, MXPX anywhere. But those are the main places where they sound and look good. I would go to the Facebook for the chat. I would go to the YouTube also for the chat, honestly, and YouTube sounds great. Both of those places. Please subscribe to the MXPX YouTube and like the MXPX Facebook if you're on Facebook and you haven't done that. That would help us tremendously. It would help you as well, so that you're more likely to see us when we go live. All right. Yes, got my coffee. Shout out to the wife. She makes the coffee. I drink it. She drinks it as well, but it's not like the breakfast burritos where she makes me breakfast burritos and doesn't eat any of them. That's insanity. Thank you. I appreciate you. Much love to Holly. But yes, she does get to partake in the coffee that she makes. But I've offered to start making the coffee as well. And so she showed me how to do it the other day. And what we do is what she does, not we do, she does. We make cold brew, but it's just coffee that's cold. So ground up coffee, you put that in this white jug filter that's got this, it's got a filter in the bottom that's, I don't know if it's mesh, what kind of cotton it is or something in there, but there's a filter and then everything seeps down. And just you pour like 3 cups of water, you pour coffee in, then you pour 3 more cups of water, then you pour more coffee in, and you make sure it's all wet, and then you leave it overnight, and then you drain that out in the morning into a carafe, and there's our coffee. So it's pretty simple. It's nothing crazy, but it's very nice. It tastes great. So I just wanted to mention that. The holidays is for comfort, if you can find some. And if you can't, there's always coffee, right? All right. I can't believe I stopped drinking coffee for like 3 years. But I had strayed off the path. I had strayed off the path from coffee into energy drinks. And the energy drinks are no good for you. They rot you out from the inside. And I feel like coffee, you kind of know what you're getting into. You know, you can drink some coffee, it gives you that little buzz, but you can stop and it's going to be fine and you're going to sleep that night and everything's going to be okay. But that's the thing is you get off that path and you get onto the path of energy drinks where you're having 1, 2 energy drinks a day. Oh, we have a show. I'm going to drink another energy. Like, nah, that's terrible for you. So that's my That's my I don't know, my nurturing moment here. We have some voicemails for you this week, but before I get to that, I got to shout out to our boys. Our I'm sure there's some ladies there too. I haven't met any ladies that work at this company, although I'm sure that there are some. So shout out to the boys and the girls at Keeley pedals, Keeley Electronics. This is a company we've used their pedals for years and years. They've really been an amazing company. They're from Oklahoma, but you can get them anywhere in the U.S. You can get them all over. And Josh, my boy Joshua Montgomery, hooked us up, hooked Tom and I up. Actually, I think he might have hooked Chris up too. Yuri didn't get anything, but comes in this box, and it's the Octi PSI. And that's a transfiguring fuzz is what it says on here. So we take this pedal. Hope you can see it here. Hope it's in focus a little bit. You take this pedal, and it's got this cover on it here that kind of tells you what everything does. Double tap to switch pitch side from all wet to dry, which is cool. Like to know you can double tap, and that'll change the setup. Punch, PSI, scoop, level, tone, pitch. This is a fuzz. That's all pretty self-explanatory. But here's another thing. You can scan here for full instructions, which is awesome. And it says hold for 1 second to toggle between latching or momentary pitch shift ramping. That's amazing. You can do pitch shift ramping, either latching, where latching means you can just hit it once and it's going to stay on, or most pedals are latching, right? But in this case, it would be momentary pitch shift ramping. So like you hit it and it ramps up, and when you stop, it'll stop the effect. It'll ramp down or whatever it does. So we've got these instructions. Great to have. I would have no idea, and I never would click this thing to see the full instructions, because we don't do that, do we? No, we don't. So I'm going to take this off, and whoa, Octi PX. Octi PX, they made us a special MXPX version of this pedal, which is so cool. So thank you, Keeley. Appreciate that. So here we are. We've got the tone, and you never would have known what this pedal here would do if you don't hold, if you hold it for 1 second, you wouldn't know, wow, now it's not latching anymore. But because I have this, it actually kind of works out pretty cool. I wonder when pedal companies started doing this, or if this is a normal thing, if this is just a Keeley thing. I don't know. You tell me. But I think it's a great idea to have that. But the Octi PX, I guess it's modeled after a Russian pedal. I can't remember which one, the soft something pedal, or maybe even the Big Muff, or I don't know. There's a few other pedals that are pretty cool like that, but this is an octave. The Big Muff was never an octave, but the Big Muff did have fuzz. So octave pedal, kind of rad. Like I could play guitar with this, but then have an octave go low to give myself some bass. So you might have, like on the verses, you're just playing, and then he hit the chorus, boom, octave pedal. Fuzz, quite intense actually. I was playing with this the other day, and the fuzz is wild. We actually used this in the studio on a project. So I'm already digging this. I actually have another Keeley pedal that I need to try to incorporate into possibly my bass rig as a DI, as a EQ, and even a boost. But it's tricky, with my bass setup. It's pretty dialed, although I've changed it recently. But I guess I'm kind of open to try a few things, and if it can give me what I need, might as well use this pedal rather than that pedal, because they're both pedals. So I like to support companies that support us. So Keeley Electronics, everyone, check it out. All right, let's get to some voicemails. Before we do that, if you want to call in and be on the show, be part of this whole crazy community, you can call me and leave me a voicemail, and the number is 360-830-6660. If you're outside the country, you can dial a 1 before that. So it's 1-360-830-6660. If you want to be part of Music Monday, we just did that, so give me a break on that. But we'll do some more in 2026, and you can go to the Mike Herrera Podcast Facebook group, become a part of that. Give me your band name, where you're from, what the song's called, and a YouTube link. It's got to be YouTube so that anybody can go and listen to the same thing that we're listening to. So it's got to be YouTube. All right, you guys. And if you haven't already done so, watch this podcast on my YouTube page, especially for the Music Mondays, because I play all the videos with what you're listening to. And it's cool. It's much better. All right. And, for this episode, you get to see this pedal I'm talking about. Kind of forgot it was all audio. But appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate you guys subscribing to the podcast. I've been doing this thing since 2013. So over 10 years, going on 12, 13 years. Feels crazy. Doesn't feel like that long, to be honest. There's been different eras of the podcast and different styles. And if you go back that far, it's like vastly different from kind of how it is now. But at the same time, it's not that different, right? Right. All right. Let's get to it. Your voicemails on the Mike Herrera Podcast. Let's go.
Hey, Mike, it's your attorney, Dan, from Ohio again. Just want to see, you've talked, I know I remember you somewhat recently, which, could be years at this point, talking about your appearance in the MTV movie Wuthering Heights, getting to make out with Captain Heigl in that experience. But could you talk a little bit about, I think you might have talked about this even further back, your work with the movie DIY, how you got involved, what that process looked like, how did you enjoy yourself? Just anything you can share about that. That one's a little bit more obscure, so it'd be cool if we could hear a little more about that. Thanks, man.
Yeah, what's up, Attorney Dan? How you doing? Yeah, Wuthering Heights, yes, that was a movie that we were part of, and it was the Before Everything and After era. We were promoting that album, and so it was Play It Loud and Everything Sucks When You're Gone, I think, was on that album. Yeah, that was cool. It was great. That was a cool experience. It turned out good. I think the movie was okay. I wasn't the best movie, to be honest, but it was also not meant to be a serious movie. It was kind of meant to be this dramatic movie. But with DIY movie, that was all Tommy Rat. Not all Tommy Rat. It was made by a filmmaker. But Tommy Rat, our tour manager / interim manager at the time, he was he's a Tucson guy. He lives down in Arizona now, and he was not from there, but he's lived there forever. And he kind of met these guys that were making this movie and trying to make this movie, and he got on board helping them with the, getting some actors together and it just, this whole thing. And he met this artist, Adara. She was very young. She was an actress, and also she started doing music, Adara Ray. And, this was the Tumbledown days. So this was, MXPX was still a band, but we just weren't really doing as much. I was focused on Tumbledown for a couple years there. And I would say this is probably around 2009 probably, if I had to guess. And MXPX maybe did 1 or 2 shows a year at that point for a couple years. And Tumbledown was doing tons of shows. So I was just out there with Tumbledown, and we got some of our songs on the movie, and we actually did some scenes in the movie. I was in, I think, a fight scene. I don't remember, honestly, what the scenes were in the movie that I was in, but I was in the movie a little bit, and I think the band was in the movie. But if I remember correctly, the movie was about this guy that was trying to become a rock star. And I wasn't the star of the movie or anything. I was just doing the Tumbledown thing, part of it. But yeah, at the time, things were so different. It was, Tommy Rat was really trying to push this thing DIY. He was trying to sell the movie in Australia. But what he didn't realize is DVDs in Australia are totally like they have different regional country codes, and so there was a whole lot of snafu happening in this thing. But the filmmakers were awesome. Tommy Rat was great. He was just doing his best to try to like finagle some promo wherever he could, and put these productions together. So, I would come down there and just kind of help with whatever. I think I came down and filmed a little bit for one of the scenes. It's funny that I don't even remember. It's so long ago. Like there's so much of the tumble down days that are hazy, let's say. The road gets kind of hazy, but good memories of it. It just was before its time. It was DIY. Truly, it was DIY before there were any sort of mechanisms for independent filmmakers. Before, like, when he was trying to make, those filmmakers were trying to make this film, and Tommy Rat was producing and funding it and getting funding for it. Like, there was no way to do that. Like, but nowadays there's like Kickstarter and there's all these things, right? So it was just like right before the internet really started happening for fundraising and promotion, really. So DIY the movie, that was it's something you can find on DVD. I assume they would have put it out on digital at some point. Like, Tommy should have really made a digital deal with somebody to make back some money, and if they couldn't get a deal, why not release it on your own? Put it on Vimeo, put it behind a paywall, put it, whatever, put it out for free on Amazon, put it, whatever, right? Like, I guess it's just not worth it sometimes, and maybe the film itself is aged out. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it was fun. It was a fun project to be part of. It certainly isn't going to win any awards. Let's put it that way. All right. Moving on. Here we go. Moving on. Here we go.
Hey, Mike. I don't need 3 minutes. My son just called, but we would really like to hear life goals at your punk rock Christmas. Thank you.
Okay, your son just called. Do I have that? No, I don't. Okay. Dang it. I don't have that, but I do know what she's talking about because I listened to that and I thought I had it here, but it's this one that I have. So Hudson called and asked, he said, happy birthday. Thank you, Hudson. I appreciate that. He called on my birthday and wants to hear life goals on December 6th. So I would say yes, if it was a club show, if it was not a festival show, but I gotta be honest, and I don't want to just blow you off, so I'll give you the real answer. When we play shows that are like festival shows, we are not doing deep cuts off the albums. We're doing songs that most people would know. So that being said, a song, like from that album that Life Goals is on, we'll play. I think we're only going to play Let's Ride off of that. So I'm sorry, and please call in again next time you're going to come see us. Ask for it again. Give us plenty of time, though, because that's not one that I think I even remember the lyrics to. But well, we can learn it. We can figure it out. So appreciate your call, and tell Hudson thank you. And of course, you don't need 3 minutes. It's all good. All right, next up. Here we go.
Greg from Toledo. Hey, how do you like our Seahawks? You guys rebuild. Nobody's even talking about Seattle. You guys started all over basically on offense. You lost Lockett and McCafferty, and you get, of course, the Ohio State wide receiver, and you got Cooper, but you got Cup. But, man, that defense looks scary again, and nobody's even talking about it. Love you guys. Can't wait for you guys to come around the Toledo, Ohio area. MXPX forever.
Thank you. Appreciate your call, man. Greg, Toledo, what's up, Ohio? I gotta say, man, the Seahawks really are looking pretty good this year. I know we have had a couple rough games, But we've had a couple games we should have won. Even I think the last game we lost to the Rams, we should have won that. The Rams are a tough team. They're a great team, and we still, even with what was it, 4 interceptions by Darnold, we still were within 3 and almost won the game. The Seahawks got a bright future ahead, and we did a rebuild so fast. It's wild. Like, last year wasn't even a bad year, but it was our rebuild year, and we had Geno behind the center, and he looked good sometimes, Geno Smith, but his attitude when he was losing says a lot. And I have to remind myself too, as a person, like, if you're losing, your attitude is going to make everything better or worse, So with Darnold, I feel like he's pretty calm and composed. He's not flipping off the audience or anything like that. So, whether or not you believe in Darnold, I think he is a great fit for our offense right now. And with Rashid coming in, with a trade coming in from the New Orleans Saints, that's another weapon we can have. But JSN is the biggie. JSN receiving, it's like maybe halfway through the season or a little over halfway maybe. And he's already broken the season record, all-time record for receiving yards for a Seahawk. It's wild. It's wild stuff. And he's a star. He's a gold-plated star. Love JSN. I'm getting the jersey one of these days. Number 11, like 9. I got a number 9, and I love him too. But the running game is all right, honestly. But JSN number 11. Gotta love it. All right, that's enough Seahawk talk for now. Of course, every week we watch the Seahawks, and we're not sure what Seahawks we're going to see, either the good Seahawks or the bad Seahawks. So I'm just hoping that we just stack up those wins, baby. All right, let's get to the next one. Here we go.
Hey, Mike. It's fellow Kitsap County podcaster Josh Kennedy. Calling with my friend Jen Hill from California.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, we just wanted to call and in this month of giving, thanks, and thank you for all the stuff you do with your band and the podcast and everything, and kind of give you a little, feel-good story on, how we became friends, Jen.
I love that. So we actually met through your pod, probably, I would say, 3 years ago, which sounds crazy.
Yeah.
But it's been like 3 years. And when I say that we became friends 3 years ago, I want to say we've literally spoken probably every day. Well, not spoken, because today, Josh, is our first time ever speaking on the phone, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. I know we've sent some voice messages back and forth, but never actual conversation on the phone. But
That's weird. That's really weird. I feel like that today opened up a whole new can of worms, which I kind of like. But
it's a good chat.
I don't even know really how it came about. Because I tried scrolling back, and I thought, I was like, I'm like, oh, I have to be almost close to the beginning, and I was literally in August, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I just saw you comment on one of Mike's Instagram posts for the podcast, and I was commenting on the same episode, and I was just like, oh, here's a fellow punk rocker, and I just added you as a friend, and you followed me back, and then I think we started talking, not too long after that. You posted a Fairy Tale of New York by No Use for a Name on your story, I think. And I was like, oh, I love that song. It's my favorite Christmas song. And you were like, me too. So we've been pals ever since.
Yeah, it's just so rad. And I know it's not tea, but I just think it's such a a feel-good story, and maybe there's more of them out there, but I'm just so thankful for the friendship I've made with Josh, because, I don't know, just in this conversation alone, we were just talking about how you just, I don't know, as an adult, you don't always connect with people in your everyday life, and we just connect on so many things that kind of
Peas in a pod.
For music and the pod. What'd you say?
Peas in a pod.
2 peas in a pod for sure. And
yeah.
I don't know. We were kind of just saying, does the music just attract kind of like a like-minded?
Yeah, so get cut off at 3 minutes, and that's all we got. But hey, I love it. Thanks for calling in, Josh and Jen. Feel good story of the year. You rizzed me up. Thank you. I appreciate that. New can of worms, right? I love it. Great story. Great to bring people together. And the fact that you mentioned Fairy Tale in New York, that's kind of what brought you together, maybe? I'm not sure. By no use, I literally yesterday listened to that. Like, no joke. And the reason was because I saw Good Charlotte was teasing a new cover of Fairy Tale of New York. And I was like, that sounds kind of cool. It sounds like Good Charlotte, it's like them. But and then it made me go, I'm gonna go listen to that No Use version of the Pogue song. So it's a cover, but it's a great song, and there's nothing like it. You listen to that song, you're just like, this is so different and cool and weird, and it's not a Christmas song, but because it takes place on Christmas, it is a Christmas song, it's like, what makes a Christmas song? A song that takes place during Christmas time, I guess, or a song about Christmas. But music really can break through all those barriers, all those weird social barriers, I guess you could say. And so, man, when it happens, go with it. Very cool. Love it. All right. Thanks for calling in, you guys. I appreciate that. And you guys, that was our first joint call. Like, we've never had two people call in from different places and talk to each other about, you get what I'm saying? That was cool. You guys did something no one has ever done on this podcast before. You did something new. All right, let's get to one more.
Mike, how you doing, man? Oh, first I wanted to say happy birthday, right? Tom put up on the Instagram that it was your birthday. I was about to go on and live my life, and then I was going to watch your story, and it's like, listen, I can't go on with my day without stopping to say happy birthday to Mike. I have no idea what I'm going to say. No. But I wanted to tell you because I was listening to Pokin' At Ya the other day, and I hadn't heard that one before. Like, when I ran into you guys, MXPX was about 25, and somebody had given me a copy of Let It Happen, and I loved it. Right, I loved it. And I was just getting back into punk from hip hop. I do the break dance. You know what I mean? So I've been all over the nation doing that, and, Rocksteady Crew and Mighty Zulu Kings, all that stuff. And when everybody in hip hop was like, B-boying changed my life, dog. It got me off the streets and saved my life, man. I was on a real self-destructive path. And I couldn't relate to those guys because I didn't have that experience. I had that experience in punk with, Jay Navarro and the Suicide Machines. You know what I mean? I got all them dudes of it. Disney Channel. Anyways, the movie Brink with the roller skaters. But listen, I just wanted to call. I just wanted to say hello. I love this podcast that you're doing. I watch almost every episode. I watch your tour footage that you post. I watch. I just eat up your content because there's not a lot of bass players that sing. Not a lot of bass players that front bands, and that is my goal. That is my passion. That is my dream. And so I take what you're doing and I see what's different, what's similar. What do I need to be? What kind of personality do I need to present so that I can predicate this goal? Because I have crippling social anxiety, my guy. Absolutely, just it's decimating me. And so the thought of standing up in front of people and singing my songs is just, last year that was an impossibility. So this year I have been dedicated training just to figure that out. I have to answer this question because I've got a band. I've got to front my band, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so a question for the podcast is any pointers for anybody that you know what I'm saying, may not have the natural personality to front a band, to be the front man. You know what I'm saying, what does it mean to be the front man? Because you kind of got to big up your guys too. You know what I mean? You kind of got to be the social buffer. You know what I mean? Because like my dudes are like mad introverted, like Jimi Hendrix experience guys. You know what I mean? Like, and so like I've got to protect them from the social scrutiny that we're going to take on. You know what I'm saying? As well as, you know what I'm saying, look after myself.
Okay, he cut off, but he called back. So let's play that, and then I'll get to it. But great start, great question so far. What does it mean to be a front man?
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Again, happy birthday. Happy birthday. And I just want to ask a question for your podcast, my friend. If you had any pointers for guys that are up and coming, trying to front bands, especially for dudes that want to play bass and sing as the front of their band, because you know that's just not super commonplace. So I see you out there doing it, and I wanted to pick your brain about it, man. So, you know, first and foremost, happy birthday. Secondly, I love your music. You know what I mean? I got Let It Happen from an ex-girlfriend when I was 25, who burned me a CD when I was getting into punk rock. And I still listen to it, man. Holds a lot of great memories for me. You know, and I love that you can pass on those types of emotions in music. And so it's what propelled me to make my own music, is listening to guys like you and, you know, Jay Navarro from the Suicide Machines and you know, a few other guys. I could go on and on and on. My man from Against All Authority, he plays basses and sings. And it's just beautiful stuff. I love it. I love every bit of it. And so, again, I just want to pick your brain for the podcast and see if you could drop some gems on us about what it takes to be a great frontman. All right. Thanks a lot, dude. Enjoy your birthday. Crush your tours. Have a great time. All right. Love you, dude. Peace.
Great call, man. Man, this is such a big topic. It's so important. And how do you be a front man when you're an introvert? How do you make it happen when you've got crippling social anxiety? That's a great question. I'm gonna tackle it right now. Here we go. First and foremost, I didn't know all these things the whole time I've been doing this music thing. I've been working at it just like you. I've been training. And when I started out, I didn't know I was an introvert, but I was a little shy. And I've always been a little shy around girls and people I don't know. And so I just had to compartmentalize in my mind the two different things and become a different person in a way. And I think it kind of helps to become a different person. It's not as hurtful when you get rejected because they're rejecting a different person, not you. And I think I learned that subconsciously early on in the business. In not that I didn't even know I was in the business. It's so strange because you're an artist. When you're an artist, you're a songwriter. You're singing. You're performing. It doesn't start out as a business thing. It becomes a business thing because the bigger it gets, the more businessy you must be to not get screwed and not have everything crumble and have all, now you owe them money. Like, how did that happen? Oh, you didn't take care of your business. So back to the question at hand, what does it mean to be a front man? Well, that's different for everyone. And front woman, front person, whoever you are, it's all similar, it all works. But what does it mean? And that's different for everybody. You have to ask yourself that question. What type of front person do I want to be? And if you're saying, okay, well, you want to be in the vein of what I do, which is hype up the crowd, connect with the crowd, sing your guts out, give everything you got. Yeah, that's I had to learn that too. So mentally prepare. I would say first and foremost, the most practice you can get, the more you practice so much that it comes natural to succeed. Practice so much that succeeding comes naturally, not failing, right? So when you have anxiety about something, you're failing in advance. You're thinking about the failure. But when you practice so much that that's no longer part of your thought process, like you don't fail at this because you always do this correctly. You always hit those notes. You always can play well. Like that's practice. That's doing the work, putting the work in, showing up consistently. It will happen. Now, first and foremost, practice. The more you practice, the less nervous you're going to be. And the more confidence you have, the less social anxiety you will have. If you were the person that, I mean, see, this doesn't always work with everybody, because if you're the person that everybody wants to be, that's kind of like, that's a reason to have anxiety too. You know, like, oh, it's all going to end at any moment. Well, I'm not a doctor. I don't know all the right ways to think about this, but I truly feel like, one, practicing so much that you just can't fail. It's like hard to fail. And two, realizing that your anxiety, your thoughts are failing in advance, and instead succeed in advance. Think of yourself succeeding. Boom, boom, boom. That's almost the same as practicing, right? And from there, I mean, 3, I think my mind protects me from the size, the enormity of any situation. So when we play our biggest shows, I'm not thinking about the fact that it's our biggest shows. I'm thinking about, okay, maybe it's an important show and that's making me nervous. But when I start getting that nervousness, I channel that into energy. I use that as a positive thing. So when we get this adrenaline rush, this nervous adrenaline rush, channel that into positivity. Like, this is the energy I'm going to need to throw that bass across the stage. This is the energy I'm going to need to stay jumping around and singing for an hour and a half. Like, you got to use everything to your advantage. So don't think about it. Don't put your full mind into the enormity of a situation. Just use the adrenaline that you get for energy. And think about the task at hand. Focus on exactly what you need to do, and don't go outside that. Don't let your mind wander on, I wonder what this guy thinks about what we're doing. Like, no. You're thinking about what you need to do and what you're about to need to do. And if I can stay in that zone, that over and over, it becomes less important to focus, and you can just do it without even thinking about it, right? That's where the practice comes in. Now, I'm sure I'm missing something, but I think it all just revolves around actual practice, repetitive, staying motivated in a positive way, and focusing on what's right in front of you and what you can control, not the unknowns that are in the ether around here. I hope this helps. I hope you can take this, and it's nothing that's going to be always the same. You're always going to have new epiphanies, new breakthroughs, new things that bother you. You're like, I never was bothered by this before, but now I'm like really nervous about it. Like, that will happen, but you just use the same technique, and use that same technique when it comes to fronting your band. You got to realize, okay, tomorrow I can chill out, but right now I need to focus on inspiring these people. I need to focus on leading these people, and don't do it in a cheesy way. I just mean, be there for people. Like, pay attention to what everybody's going through. Realize that we're all in this together. Realize that we've all got insecurities in the back of our minds, and hey, pat each other on the back and be like, we got this. We've done the work. Practice was great. Let's go. Let's make this happen. I'm going to do the best I can, and let's go. You know, you got to kind of have some sort of mental mindset about what you're doing if you're going to be the leader of a band. And it doesn't happen overnight. Don't expect you to just all of a sudden be inspiring your band guy, because they're going to be like, oh, whatever. But if you do it consistently over and over in a non-cheesy way, in a way that just suits who you are and your personality, be truthful, be open, but be positive, I think they're going to respond to it well. And if they don't, then maybe you've got some negative people that are going to bring the whole ship down anyway, because you'll have from time to time negative crew members or band members that are just like, nothing that happens is ever good enough. Nothing is ever done right. You know, that can bring you down. So I like to stay positive, especially on the day of a show, on the hours leading up to a set, right before you go on. Just be pumping each other up, be stretching, be loose, get loose, physically stretch out, get loose, feel good, breathe. All of those things are going to help you conquer and do what you want to do as a front person. That's it. There's no magic to it. You're doing the right thing by asking questions, by training yourself, and realizing that it's not some secret little tactic that you do this and you're done. You just sprinkle some salt in your water and your social anxiety just goes away. Like, that's just not the way life works, right? Like, you have to move towards things that are working for you once you realize they're working for you. All right. Crippling social anxiety, we don't need it. But you know what? I'm an introvert by nature. I'm an introvert that can turn on that part of myself that will talk to people and it's not that I don't want to talk to people, it's just the energy it takes, you know? So right before a show versus right after a show, I am a different person completely, because right before a show, I'm very focused. I'm having fun with the guys and stuff, but like, I need to be comfortable and I need to be around people I know very well, people that I know got my back. And when the show's over, I can be around anybody. It doesn't matter. Like, I can embrace the whole world and figure it out, because I'm no longer having to focus on this thing so hard. And you would think, okay, well, you know, it's been so many years and why do you need to focus so hard? And I don't know if that's the right way to think about it, but I am very much in the zone when I'm about to go on stage. That's just, I don't know how else to say it. All the things that you need to be thinking about, I'm trying to think about. I'm stretching, I'm breathing, I'm singing. You know, we're all doing our own thing, you know, but we're all doing kind of things together as well. So mentally going over the set list. All right, we're doing this song tonight. Okay, it happens there in the set. So you kind of have a mental checklist. And if you're around a crowd of people and then you just have to go on stage right after that, it's kind of weird because you haven't had time to like do that mental checklist, and you're like, you know, you're not necessarily doing your whole workout routine. So yeah, if you've ever been in our dressing room and then all of a sudden you got kicked out, it's not anything personal. It's just because we need a time to incubate with us, just our core group, to get ready for the set, because we put that much into the set. And you can do it without that. You can just show up. But I think the consistency is what makes it happen, is having that idea of where I'm going. So I think maybe that's another thing I would amend to what I said about how to overcome social anxiety, is incubate yourself with people you trust right before you do something so important like that to you. Maybe that works. It works for me. It works great for me. So you can mentally do the things you got to do. Succeed in advance. Succeed in advance by practicing over and over. Succeed in advance mentally by going over your mental models, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. And then just don't let the negativity in. Stay positive, stay lubed, stay fluid. And I think you got yourself a show. I think you got yourself something, and your band is going to respect you if you do the work and improve. Don't go from 0 to 99, because that seems weird too. It's like you kind of have to gradually find your way into the new front person that you are, the front man that you are, or front woman if you're listening, you're a lady. Whatever it is, you got to find that for you. And if that means going from 0 to 99, by all means, do it. But I think we find things gradually, whether that's gradually within a month, or gradually within a year. I mean, that's different for everybody. But I don't think things happen in one show. That's what I mean. You might try something and you're like, okay, let's do more of that, but that's not as good as I'm gonna get. That's what I mean, is things happen gradually, because you just can't be as good at being a front person now as you will be in 3 years. There's just, unless you get worse, then I guess, what are we talking about here? You're getting worse. But if you're putting in the work, you're going to improve, and you are going to be better than you are day one on year 3. So there you go. All right. Thank you for your time. Thanks for subscribing and listening to the podcast, everyone. I appreciate it. Shout out to Bob McKnight for producing the podcast. Whoop, whoop. And thank you guys for your voicemails. All right, that's it. Call in 360-830-6660, and the rest is history. MXPX.com. We'll see you next year. We got a bunch of shows coming up. That's it. Peace.